Question about it, a big part of effective leadership involves crisis management. Over the past 10 months, Galveston County Judge Mark Henry has had to deliver way more than his fair share. First with a hurricane and then the crushing loss in Santa Fe. On this morning, we welcome Judge Henry to our hot seat. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay, 300 plus days after Harvey, how is Galveston County and your constituents, how are they recovering?
The county's doing fairly well, and that's in large part thanks to the faith-based community that has come from all over the world, really, to help Galveston County. We're not particularly happy with the results from the federal and state government. There's room for improvement there for sure.
You did mention state and federal aid.
Yes.
I have read that half of the Texans who've applied for FEMA aid have been rejected, or close to half. Are you seeing that in Galveston County?
Absolutely, and we're very concerned about that. One of the considerations is your income, and the areas that were most impacted, Dickinson, League City, and Friendswood, probably have slightly higher than average household incomes. So people who did not have flood insurance may be penalized because they make too much money. And too much money could be $80,000 a year, which it was 2 teachers. I mean, it's not that significant of a salary. And these people are the ones who really need the help.
Judge, we're in another hurricane season. And looking forward to the kind of infrastructure that can, I guess, soften the blow. What's in the work in Galveston County, and do you think you might need bond money?
We issued a bond last year, and I think that bond money will probably be enough. We really have to look at this as a regional issue. While the water will flow last through Galveston County, it often starts somewhere else, in Harris County or somewhere else. So we have to attack this as a region. We already have identified properties that we can acquire and make detention basins out of, so we can help with that. We can help mitigate that. But honestly, when you're getting 55 inches of rain in 48 hours, there's only so much you can do.
Judge, when you ran for office and took this leadership role, you knew you were going to deal with some hurricanes.
I assumed I would.
But you probably spent a lot of time saying, I hope I don't have to deal with a mass shooting at a school.
Never even thought about it.
How is your community healing?
The community is strong. Santa Fe is a sort of an agricultural and hunting and fishing community. They're doing pretty well, but they're honestly doing better than I would be if it was my child.
Look, I can't even imagine what it was like to try to lead in the middle of all of that immense pain. How did you approach it? What do you remember of that day?
It was a difficult and long day. I remember I didn't get to eat at all. The first time I got to eat was 7 o'clock at night when I got home. But it was 21 years in the Air Force training for what we call the fog and friction of war, and that's exactly what that was, the fog and friction of that day.
I think I remember you actually arraigned the suspect in this case. What was that like for you personally? You're doing your job, but you're also talking to this young man who ended lives.
It's chilling. You're face to face with a mass murderer, or at least an accused mass murderer, to be legally correct. So it's something you never think about, and something I don't know how you could prepare for.
Hey, look, much has been suggested to make our schools safer, and you've heard these suggestions. What makes sense to you?
I actually talked to quite a few of the students from Santa Fe High School, and one of the consistent themes was they thought school uniforms would be very helpful. That way you can see when somebody's not dressed appropriately, such as this young man was that day with a trench coat and able to conceal the weapon. So that, along with passive and active mental health screening, that's something that I think is going to be at the root of all of this. If these can be identified early on as at least students of concern, maybe we can have a better chance at intervention.
How did your law enforcement react? You've had a chance to kind of do a debrief. What was your reaction when you gauged their performance?
Could not be more proud of our law enforcement. When the bullets started flying, they ran toward those bullets and not away. They were not at all passive. They got in there as fast as they could, and Officer Barnes, of course, got shot doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing.
I want to talk about one of the proudest moments I've had as a Texan, which was to be standing in the middle of I-45 during Harvey and watching your citizens, show up with their private boats and deploy selflessly on both sides of I-45. You saw that go down. Can you talk about it?
It was great. We knew that we did not have the resources to provide all the rescues that were being called into us. We were at the we were at the Emergency Operations Center, not at 911, and the phones were ringing off the walls. So one of the unusual things about Harvey, no one lost power, no one lost internet. They were able to find out who to call next. And we were getting calls, again, nonstop, and there were 6 of us answering calls about, I'm on my roof, I'm in my attic, I'm on my porch. So we put out an immediate Facebook post saying, please, if you've got your own boat, gas, and life vest, please come help. And they are probably responsible for 98% of the rescues that day.
Does that make people, I guess, closer to have stepped up like that and to have been rescued like that?
I think so, and I think it really shows the true spirit of Texas. I mean, we do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Judge Mark Henry, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.